Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm going to wait a little bit of time here to let people jump on. But I want to say hi and how are you? I hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday. I hope everyone saw my sneak peek of my course that's coming out on Thursday. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. But you will be able, I will have links to how you can purchase on my Instagram. Good morning from California. Oh, I wish I was in California right now. It is like 1,000,000 degrees still here. I think the heat index today here in Nashville is like 101. It's so hot. But we're doing fall cookies. So, yeah, that's how that goes. So, anyways, the course, you will not be able to miss it when it comes out on Thursday, and it is going to be awesome. It will be a limited time, just so you know, and I don't know if I've said that yet, but my cart enrollment will only be open for 14 days, and this will be the lowest price that it will be. So set your clocks, set your alarms, and get ready to get your course. So it's going to be awesome. But today we are going to decorate these 2 fall cookies. I had another pumpkin, but I think we're just going to, for time's sake, we're going to do this adorable pumpkin. You can see kind of here, I've already done it a little bit in stages. Both of these cutters are from Sweetly Printed. And she has Etsy shop. She's also on Instagram and has adorable stuff. And then we're going to do this mug, and y'all, I'm going to freehand fall. And y'all, I never freehand anything, but I use my phone with my projector and also we're going to just wing it and see how it goes. But I'm going to do a tutorial on projectors here soon. But let's go ahead and get started. I want to get started. We're going to do the teal heart here. You always want to start with that first because you want it to dry for 8 hours before, or not 8 hours, but probably 2 or 3 hours before you add in the orange. And then we're going to do the mug here. So I'm just going to take my scribe. And I am just going to, just because I don't trust myself, I'm going to just draw. And I love how I do this in my videos too. It's kind of crazy. But you can use an edible marker. I don't like to use my edible markers on the cookie when they're undecorated. I like to save these for when they're iced because it will ruin your cookie. But I do have some that I'd use just for the cookie. But I'm just kind of etching and making a mark here. So that way I know where I'm going to put my line. And I'm going to outline these first. Hopefully you can see well. I'm going to move this just a little bit up so you can see and you're not in the comments. So I'm just going to make my little heart. And you could draw lines or you could do polka dots like I have in the other one. And so you see how that one's kind of wonky? I don't like it, and it's probably because of the angle I was at. I don't like it, so I'm just going to take it off, like so. And we're going to try that again. It's kind of hard to do with the camera and my face, but we'll make the most of it. So you see this little portion here? This is going to all be covered up with your flood icing. So don't even worry about it. Look, it's already coming together. And then we're going to outline the mug here. Let me scoot that over a little bit. And I see that the mug, I just see that there's a little indentation here, and that's where I'm going to draw my line for the top portion. And I'm going to do, probably just for time's sake, I'm going to flood the whole thing with the handle and all. But on the other one up there that we're going to get to, I did the handle portion separate so that you would see this indentation here. So I've got those there. I want to make sure they're in the frame. And I'm just going to cut my bag. So you're just going to cut your bag. I have my tipless bags here. I've got my flood icing in here. I just put it in there. And so I'm going to cut, like I have the seam is straight up to the ceiling. I talk about this in my course. It's super important. And I think I talked about it with you guys last week, but I'm going to cut straight across. And that's going to make a perfect little hole for my icing. So the flood icing, obviously you're going to cut like a little bit bigger hole. I like to outline with my with a tip because it just gives me more control over my icing. So it's total personal preference of what you want to do. I work from the outside in, and you're just working from the outside in, working your way in. And I'm just going to, and you don't want to fill too much because you're going to add those cute little polka dots. So maybe I'll put stripes on this one here. I think I meant to do that last night and then I just blanked out. So, all right. So just getting it all around. I'm going to go ahead and fill in this handle here. Hopefully you can see that. And so it's just going to all mesh together. So do you see the difference between this one here where you can see the separation and then this one here where it's all meshed together? That's totally okay. I have just barely enough white to do this. So I'm going to draw some lines on this. You do want to remember that when you're working with your wet on wet technique, you want to work fairly quickly because your icing will start to set up. So usually when I'm doing like polka dots, I usually do about 3 cookies and then come back and add my polka dots or lines or whatever else I'm doing. So I'm just barely squeezing here. I kind of want a bigger polka dots for this. And then I'm going to add one more over here because it just looks like it needs it. Okay, so like TV time, I'm going to set these aside to dry, and I'm going to grab my ones that are dry. So here we go. I'll flip them back around. Well, I might do this. Okay, so this is what they're going to look like dry. These have dried overnight. And I'm going to do, first of all, like I didn't do the stem on this because I literally just like 10 minutes before did this leaf. But normally I would do the leaf and then let it dry for in front of a fan for probably about 20 minutes and then add the stem part. So my browns are a little bit different because I just had to make extra brown. I'm cutting my bag. This is going to be for the stem of my bag. And you know what? I need to bring that one back over here because I need to show you how to do this. So this is like the little cinnamon stick that is at the top. And what I'm going to do is just outline this portion here. And then this little cinnamon stick. Aren't those cute? And then I'm going to fill it in. So I'm going to do, let me move this one out of the shot. And then I'm trying a different angle today, so trying to see if that works. Let me know if y'all like that. Was that the same color icing that you just used? It dried so differently. No, I had to remake some more teal, so that's why. It's not going to change that much when you, it will darken a little bit, but this was the same color that this was, but this icing, so you can kind of see they're a little bit different. I had to make more flood icing because I ran out from yesterday, so. And then here I'm just going to make my stem for my little pumpkin. And again, with the browns, I had to make more outline brown, so they're going to be a little bit, the colors won't match exactly. But normally when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your colors that you use, that you make enough to cover so that you don't have different colors, especially if you use a color that you create. Like if you're mixing more than like one color. So say that you're making orange. So this orange pumpkin, I used orange and teriyaki. No, not teriyaki. Terracotta. Cannot talk. And so I want to make sure that like I get enough because to try and get that same color again is going to be like nearly impossible. So if it comes like right out of a bottle, if it's like your brown, like you're just using like teal, you're gonna be able to get it fairly well. But just know that it may not come out as well. So I'm gonna wait to do this little spot here. I'm gonna show you in the next cookie how it's done. But we're gonna use our outline icing to show you how to do the little swirlies at the top, and then we'll add like whipped cream onto him. So I'm gonna let this one dry a little bit, and I'm gonna show you how we add the little swirls. So these are like your little cinnamon sticks in your like hot cocoa or whatever you're drinking. Are you guys like drinking like the pumpkin spice? This could totally be like a pumpkin spice. I am not a coffee drinker. I feel like I'm like the only adult on the planet that doesn't drink coffee. I will take me a Coke Zero any day of the week, but I'm not a coffee drinker. My husband is. My 10-year-old loves coffee. He doesn't get it, but he doesn't get to have it, but he wants it. But anyways, this could totally be your like little pumpkin spice latte. These are great for like teacher gifts and things like that are super fun. So I'm just making the line, and I'm going to make like this little swirly at the top. How cute is that? Again, these browns are a little bit different, but that's totally okay. It does not change what you're doing. How cute is that? Okay, so we will just go ahead and finish up on this one. So you could do all kinds of things in here. You could say teacher fuel. You could do a pumpkin. You could do all kinds of things. Like I said, I was going to try and draw the word fall. But I'm not sure that's going to work. And then I just took outline icing in a white piping bag. Just toss it in here, and then I'm going to use this to make my whipped cream. So as you can see, like I made this hole pretty large at the top because I want it to be like frothy looking, like a, I guess a latte. What comes with like the froth like that? I don't even know. But I'm just taking my bag. This is my favorite technique to do on like the little coffees and lattes. How cute is that? Now, I've got my little chocolate jimmies over here. These are just like Betty Crocker, I think. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few on top. How cute is that? Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to take my marker. And like I said, normally I would have a projector, and you can use a projector to do your letters. But I am going to be kind of ambitious here, and I'm just going to use an edible marker, and then I'm going to use my piping bag and see if this works. So bear with me. I am not a hand letterer by any stretch. Look, and it's still wet, so like my marker went through it already. But one thing with hand lettering, which is a little extra for today, is when you're doing, oh gosh, look at that. I went through it again. That means the cookie is still wet, which is a good thing because you want your cookies to be nice and soft. But when you outline, or when you are doing hand lettering, the trick is that you have thicker lines when you go down. So I'm just going to take my icing here. This is my outline icing. And I'm just going to follow along the line that I already made. And as I'm doing a downward motion, I am piping thicker. So this is called hand piping. So normally I wouldn't see this like black line here. It's going to kind of like trip me up. But it's going to all dry together and look pretty, hopefully. But I'm just squeezing more on that downward motion. So when I go up, I'm not pressing as hard on my bag. And then come up and go around, and again, just pressing more on that bag. That takes a lot of practice to do that, but it's called pressure piping.